Chris, thank you. Yeah, we've been quite spoiled, haven't we? It's been lovely of late, but it feels a little bit more seasonal. Chris, thank you. Nice to see you. Now, speaking of cold weather, we're going to talk about something now called the Explorers Grand Slam Challenge. It involves climbing the world's 7 highest mountains and reaching the North and South Poles. Now, only 70 people or so have done it. Martin Hewitt is set to become the first person with a disability to do it. Well, Martin, who lost the use of his right arm while serving in Afghanistan, set out on his challenge more than a decade ago. He's since completed most of the summits as well as the North and South Poles. So what's left? Well, he's got 2 more climbs to tick off his list, one in Indonesia and the other one in Australia. So let's take a look at how he's been getting on so far.
Thanks for everything. Yeah, well done, mate. Amazing job.
I've got sweaty palms just looking at those views. Well, I'm pleased to say Martin's with us now. Martin, good morning.
Morning.
Nice to see you. How have you been getting on? Talk to me about that last trip. So it was Antarctica, wasn't it, the last one you did? And there were 2 separate trips there.
That's correct. So we walked to the South Pole, first of all, and then once we got that aspect done, we then climbed the highest mountain in Antarctica, which is called Mount Vincent, or Vincent Massive.
Why are you doing this?
Good question. So, I mean, when I first started it, to be honest with you, the aspiration was to try and do something that hadn't been achieved with disability before. I got injured in Afghanistan in 2011. Or 2007, sorry, and 2011 was my first expedition. And at that point, we had quite a lot of soldiers getting injured, and a lot of people who were losing their careers and facing transition from the military. So the initial aspiration really was to try and provide the example of success, whatever that looked like. And for me, it was doing something that hadn't been achieved with disability to try and kind of set a bar and provide a positive example.
I mean, if we look at these pictures, it makes it look so easy when we just get all these snapshots on the gloriously sunny days. You just tell me those are the only days you can film because you can see something. For Antarctica, you got there in the end, but it didn't quite go according to plan, did it? Talk to me about
No, not at all, yeah. So the original plan was to try and do an unsupported, unassisted expedition from the continental edge of Antarctica, the land continent edge, to the South Pole. Unsupported, unassisted means there's no resupplies, you're not using wind power with a kite, it's all man-hauling. So that in essence, it resulted in quite a lot of weight in the sledge that you're pulling. So I had 108 kilograms of weight to pull behind me. Right. And my teammate Lou had a similar amount of weight. So I had a challenge in that we just having the use of one pole. You're constantly trying to tackle a feature called sastrugi, which is basically a build-up of snow and ice on the ground. And these mounds can be a couple of feet tall and long and wide, or they can be bigger. And trying to balance on that when you're pulling quite a lot of weight in the sledge meant that I was putting a lot of load through my left-hand side because I've only got the pole and the left arm to balance on. And that meant that I was basically putting a lot of stress through that left calf and ended up getting something called Achilles tendonitis. Right. So we had to go to ground for a bit to rest and take some anti-inflammatories and get some medical treatment on it. But luckily, we managed to get it healed to a level where we could go back out and complete the challenge. And
as we said in the introduction, you've now ticked off most of the things on that list. It's been, 10 years in the making? Right?
Yeah.
And there are 2 left to go. Talk to me about the 2 that you still need to conquer.
Yeah, so I mean, the endeavour is to climb the highest mountain on every continent of the world, as well as reach both the poles. But there's a bit of a dispute as to what is the highest mountain in continental Australasia. Okay. So the first 2 people that ever did the 7 summits, not the poles as well, they did a mountain in Australia itself called Kosciuszko, which is the highest mountain in Australia. But when you look at this endeavour from a explorer's perspective, a lot of people in the community talk about geographical continental areas. So continental Australasia, the highest mountain is Carsten's Pyramid in West Papua New Guinea. So to just make sure there's no kind of comebacks at the end of this, we're going to do both.
You're going to make sure that you've absolutely got them ticked off the list. What goes through your head when you complete each of these challenges? Because what strikes me there, looking at that list around the world, each of them in their own right is an amazing achievement. And you're doing them essentially back to back over the course of many years. The sense of achievement when you finish one of those must be incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you do get an enormous sense of achievement, and to be honest with you, this last one, a sense of relief as well, because of the injury and a lot of unknowns of whether or not we could actually complete it or not. So there's a huge sense of relief, but to be honest with you, a sense of gratitude. You know, I mean, the fact that I've had the opportunity to attempt this and to do this, and it has been a huge endeavour. You know, some of the kind of explorers from the heroic age of exploration would often say, you know, Robert Falcon Scott was famous for saying that the hardest part of expeditions for him was when the financial cash generating part of it was when you actually start on the expedition, because the logistical challenge that goes into it is significant, and raising the money, and that has been a huge challenge. But we've been very fortunate that we've had met some amazing people through this, you know, and our sponsors have also become our friends, you know, and a good mate of mine, Mark, who I'm godfather to his son Alfie now, it has literally kind of taken this on as his pet project, because he loves the passion of what we're doing. So not just on the expedition side, where I've been privileged to meet a lot of people with disabilities that have overcome significant injury to take on the challenges that they've joined us on, but the wider network and the other stakeholders that have been involved with the project, we've just built up this amazing team. And as a result, whenever we achieve any of the significant challenges, it's an overwhelming sense of gratitude more than anything else.
And quickly, so Papua New Guinea next,
yeah.
And then when are you hoping to have finally ticked off that entire list?
Hopefully autumn this year,
okay.
But there's a few logistical and political challenges out there at the minute, so we've got to look into that, and like anything else, the planning phase starts and we take it from there.
Martin, we wish you all the best. Come back and see us when you've done them all, will you please? And we'll finish that map with it. They'll all go green on the map. So really nice to see you, Martin Hewitt. Best of luck. Thanks very much.
Thank you.